What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So right now it is 5:12 on a Friday night. I just finished up work for the week, which means it's time for me to lock in and knock out some of my own personal work that I need to get caught up on this weekend. Now there is something I've been meaning to do for a minute here. You guys probably saw I dropped a video talking about these filters right here. These are the Polar Pro Short Stash Everyday Filters. And this one fits the camera I'm filming on right now. So actually, let me switch out the filter that's on here currently. This was a 1/8 Pro Mist, and then I'm gonna put on this Everyday filter. So let's put this on. And then now we have the Short Stash filter on, which should look pretty similar. It has a little bit more Pro Mist, I believe. I was rocking a 1/8 before, and I think the Everyday filter for Short Stash is a 1/4, which gives a little bit more kind of bloom or halo effect on lights you see in the background, which I'm always a huge fan of. I love a Pro Mist filter. But actually, on the topic of cameras, I always get asked about what camera do I use, what lens, what microphone, what do I use to film these types of videos? So here it is. The camera body is a Sony FX3. That is my favorite camera I've ever purchased. I can throw pretty much anything at it video-wise and it absolutely crushes it. So whenever I'm filming some of my longer types of videos, I'm usually reaching for the FX3. For the lens, I'm rocking the 16-35 f2.8 G Master lens, and it is hands down my favorite lens for vlogging. And then for the microphone, I'm rocking the Sony ECM M1. And I'm telling you, it is the best microphone you can buy. It is expensive, but it's extremely small. You don't have to plug it in. There's no battery. You don't have to plug in a cord, and it has a bunch of different audio settings on the back of the microphone in case you're talking POV, or if you're talking like right now in front of the camera. Like, let me show you. Hang on, this might sound bad. It's gonna be the internal microphone for a second. You see how it has this dial? There's a bunch of different settings you can use. It's really good. Put this back on. Now this just showed up at my door and I almost unboxed it, but then I realized I gotta show you guys what's inside of it too. And some of you can probably guess by the shape of this box. I think Daphne says she knows what it is. All right, so this purchase was kind of a snap decision, if you will. But with that being said, you guys know I love shoes, right? Big sneaker guy. Well, I ironically had a Nike gift card that I realized I hadn't used yet. And I've been thinking about getting a pair of these shoes for a second now. Now, I'm not really like a dad shoe kind of guy. And if you don't know what a dad shoe is, it's basically just like a chunky, kind of ugly, old school looking shoe. That's the best way I know how to describe it. But I picked up these, which are the Vomero 5s. But a few of my homies have a pair of these and they swear by them, how comfortable they are. These are kind of like the most hype dad looking shoes that are out right now. But we're in our 30s now. This body is getting old. We got to take care of it. I kind of want some comfort in my life. So I'm not completely sold on them yet. I guess we gotta try them on real quick. But let me know down in the comments below. Are these a yes or no? Interested to hear what you guys have to say. But let me try one of these on real quick. What's up, Mocha? Mocha's right here too. You know what? They're actually pretty comfortable. I feel like they don't look terrible either. Just a little different than my normal style, but what do you guys think? Not too bad. Mocha, are you impressed? Nope, she's not impressed. So, but I will say they are hella comfortable. So I don't know. We'll give it a little bit of time and see if they stick or not, but low-key, kind of like them. Now I've been sitting at my desk like all day long, so Mocha has been itching to go outside because it's finally a little bit nicer out. So I'm gonna grab her leash, take her out for a little bit, try to start off this weekend on the right foot. But I don't think I'm gonna wear the fresh shoes out quite yet. But I am rocking this hoodie right here. Shout out to my guy J² for the hoodie.
You want to go for a walk?
So it actually feels amazing outside right now. It's right now in Chicago, I think like 45 degrees, which is kind of the typical Midwest where some people are wearing a winter coat still. Some people are wearing t-shirts and shorts. I think I dress a little bit too warm, honestly, to go for a walk, but it is gorgeous outside. So perfect way to kind of round off the week. Come on, girl. What, are you hungry? Now, I don't know if anyone else who has dogs out there can relate, or I guess pets in general, but the amount of supplements and things we have to put on these dogs' food to make sure they stay healthy is getting out of hand. I think at this point, they might be eating better than us. All right, so finally getting a chance to sit back down at my desk here. Now, as far as tonight's agenda goes, or what content am I working on, which is kind of my usual cadence, instead of actually filming, aside from this video right here, I'm gonna be working on the process of moving over my digital store to a new website. So currently I sell all my digital assets on a website called Sellify, and I'm going to be transitioning them over to Shopify for various reasons, which maybe I'll talk about in a separate video. But Sellify just, I don't know, there's a few things I don't like too much about it, and also the yearly price because of what I sell is just really high, and Shopify has some better features, so you guys won't really notice this too much, but it's something that I need to work on kind of behind the scenes. I just kind of have to rebuild all those web pages or product pages for all those digital assets. And if you guys didn't know, I do sell digital assets. This was not intentionally a plug, but we're here, we might as well talk about it. On my digital store, I sell a bunch of different things. Lightroom presets, which is how I edit all my photos. I have an overlay pack, which is all the different overlays and effects that I use on all my vertical content. I got a wallpaper pack, and then also even a LUT that I offer, which is how I color grade. If you like the look of my videos, it can help you achieve that. So first link down in the description below if you want to check out anything on my digital store. It's a great way to support me, the channel, and also a great way to make your content kind of level up as well. Now, is this my first choice on how I'd spend my Friday evening? No, of course not, but that is kind of an important thing to note. If you are a content creator, I'm sure you can relate, or if you're trying to get more and more into this space, of course you're gonna have different things or tasks or part of your business, right, that might not be the most fun to always do. Would I love to just sit here and record videos all day? Of course, but who's gonna edit those? Who's gonna promote those? Who's gonna market them? And that goes for monetizing your content as well. I feel like some people have like a negative taste in their mouth when they think about monetizing content. Don't look at it that way. The way that I look at it is it allows me to reinvest into my business, into my channel, and into my content. For example, obviously I do a lot of stuff around tech, camera gear, whatever else kind of falls under that umbrella. Those are not cheap things. But if I can buy a camera, like for example, the Fuji X100VI, bought that right back there, make some content on it, not only am I able to help out other people who might be interested in that content, maybe I can entertain people with my content as well on it. And then once I do these things, guess what? The content I made on that camera has already paid it off. So why wouldn't you want to try to figure out how to monetize your content? And obviously that's gonna be a little bit different for everybody else out there. So for me tonight, I'm working on moving over my website to make that side of things a little bit easier and better for myself. And it's a really important piece for me for the long game, which you should always be thinking about. So I just walked out here because it's time for me to actually eat. It's like 7:15, so sun's starting to set. Downtown Chicago with sunset, it's gorgeous. I feel like we're on the cusp of it being almost summertime. There's nothing more exciting than summertime shy. And I need to figure out the lighting situation in the kitchen. It's just not cutting it for me. All right, so I'm back on the MegaFit meals. Now, this is not sponsored. I actually low-key wish it was sponsored. Maybe I should work on that. But I've been a fan of getting some of these like meal prep style meals every once in a while. Really good macros, they taste really good. For this one, you have like 17 grams of fat, 70 carbs, and almost 50 grams of protein. And this one tastes fire. This is what it actually looks like once it's warmed up. So I'm gonna sit down, enjoy this, and probably find something to watch. So I like to try to keep you guys updated with what's going on in the office here. And if you guys notice this light bar, this is actually a new addition. That was really the only corner of my office where I didn't have any sort of light source. And if you guys watched my entire office tour video, you know how important it is for me to kind of have different light sources throughout this entire space. That way, no matter what I'm filming or when I'm filming, I have a bunch of different angles ready to go. So I had this Nan light tube light just sitting in storage. So I figured why not make the most out of it. And I think it actually looks sick up there. All right, so I ended up getting a fair amount of work done, but to be completely real with you guys, I'm kind of just cooked after this week. So 2 quick things. One, I'm about to sit down here at my gaming setup. If you guys missed my last YouTube video, I kind of did an entire desk setup tour of this entire gaming space, walking you guys through the entire thing. So go check that out if you haven't yet. But then secondly, if you are someone who also plays Call of Duty, and I haven't really had a chance to truly try it out yet, so I'm gonna sit down, see if anyone else is online tonight, and that's probably how I'm gonna finish off this evening. So I will more than likely catch up with you guys in the morning. right, guys, so it is obviously the next morning now. Just got done taking out the dogs, feeding them, taking care of them, all that kind of stuff. I forget if I mentioned earlier in this video or not, but Miranda's actually gone on a work trip right now, so I am doing dog dad life by myself, which I love these 2 dogs, but man, it can be a lot of work. And now it's time for me to really get my day started because I love having a productive Saturday. So just got dressed, about to head out to the gym here in a second. But that is kind of something I wanted to note in this video because I feel like it's something that a lot of other creators struggle with, at least kind of keeping the balance of taking care of themselves. I know I myself, and I know several other of my friends in this space, right? It's very easy to kind of just overwork yourself and neglect things that maybe you should make a priority, like your health. And even just being super consistent this last couple weeks and even just eating better, it's crazy how much better I feel. And that transfers over into my work. And funny enough, I recently picked up a new pair of running shoes. Now, I am not a runner. I've never run. I actually hate running, aside from like playing basketball, but going out on a run, that just was never me. But it's kind of been tempting me more and more lately. So I recently picked up these, which are the Nike Invincible Run 3. Shout out to Swole for putting me onto these. So I actually just recently tried these for the first time and loved them. I don't know, maybe there's JHawk the runner in the future. Probably not, but at least try and take care of my body a little bit. And that's something that you guys need to be doing as well. Take care of your body. If you're feeling in a creative rut, if you're feeling like you're out of whack, go get a good workout in, and I promise you, you will feel better. And usually when I'm working out, that's when I get some of my best ideas. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let me show you what I'm mixing up. All right, so this is what we're looking at pre-workout here. So for what my pre-workout stack is, you guys already know I'm rocking Ghost, not sponsored, but this is our new burn supplement right here. Helps get that metabolism going in the morning, has a good amount of caffeine, and I absolutely love the way this thing makes me feel. So I have that and kiwi strawberry. I'm gonna be stacking that with Pump Pink Lemonade, which is a great non-stimulant pre-workout. You can stack it on top of another pre-workout. It helps you to get a nice pump. And then Size is our creatine-based product, also in Pink Lemonade. So I'm gonna be drinking those 3 together. And then also I'm just gonna be eating 1 bagel with a little bit of peanut butter on it. And then I already drank my greens this morning, but I drink a scoop of greens every single morning. And yeah, this is what I'm looking at pre-workout. All right, so we gotta talk about this J. Cole Kendrick beef real quick for anyone who's staying up to date with it. First of all, I'm a Drake fan, all right? So I'm team Drake all day. But the J. Cole and Kendrick beef now, I'm listening to J. Cole's, what is this, 7-minute drill? He's dropped like yesterday. I might get a lot of hate for this, but I'm truly not the biggest Kendrick fan. I'm honestly not really a big J. Cole fan either. I think both of them have a handful of songs I like, but that's about it. So actually neither one would be in my top 3, but between Kendrick and J. Cole, I gotta go with J. Cole right now. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know who you think is up right now in the comments below. Actually had a great workout. I did a lot of cardio. I hit a little bit of shoulders, but ran a mile in those new shoes, which loving those. And then I also did the Stairmaster for 20 minutes. Hang on, this vent is really loud. So great workout, feeling good, but we got an important stop on our way home. Let me show you guys where we're going. Came in here for an acai bowl. Now I'm leaving with this, and we got a DJ in here. It's crazy. All right, so that was actually really funny. It was so loud in there, I couldn't really explain it. But I stopped by a place called Pure Green. They recently opened up a new location, but again, acai bowl. It's absolutely fire there. I don't know what's going on. They're throwing like a party on Saturdays. So there was like a DJ in there all morning long. But the owner saw that I was vlogging, I had my camera, so he gave me a bag, bunch of stuff, and hooked it up. So got some juices, was that watermelon, pure ginger, some wellness shots, a bunch of stuff. So yeah, it's cool. Supporting a local spot. I'll give them a nice little shout out on IG. But yeah, time to go eat this acai bowl. So we moved into this spot in November, so I haven't really been able to come up here to the rooftop yet, but as you can tell, it's now open. They don't even have like the cushions and stuff out yet, and literally no one else is up here, so it's kind of dope. But I figured what better spot than to enjoy this acai bowl, and I asked you guys over on IG for some questions, and I figured I'd answer a few here in this video. Got a little smash with the lid on, but it's still fire. All right, so let's answer a few questions. Oh no, I'm dripping, it's melting. All right, so I asked for a few questions over on IG. I figured I'd answer them in this video, because why not, you know? While I enjoy this acai bowl, and hopefully the entire thing doesn't melt. I guess I gotta give a taste test first. Oh yeah, this is it. There's no like amazing acai spot in Chicago, but this one is pretty damn good. What is the one camera that you always grab when you're heading out? Right now, I'd say it's the Fuji X100 VI, but again, even kind of like what I mentioned earlier in this video, if I'm doing anything video related, it's usually on the FX3. So those are kind of like my go-to two cameras, but I've been loving the Fuji lately. It's the real deal. Your bucket list travel destination. So two places for sure. One, I've never been to Australia. I've always kind of loved the idea of being able to go visit there. And then number two, which is actually my number one bucket list, is Dubai. I think it just seems like the coolest place, especially for creators and just the way everything looks, the culture. I think it just seems so unique. So I definitely got to go out to Dubai at some point. Hopefully maybe like a brand trip or something like that. And I would love to document and kind of vlog the entire thing. If you guys can hear the train, you can probably hear the train. What do most people overlook in editing that you crush at? So I don't know if necessarily like I crush, but I think a detail that a lot of people do overlook is just the tiny little details. To me, especially with content, the small little details matter even more than like some of the major things. So fine tune that color grade, make sure your edits line up with a beat, make sure it fits the actual vibe of the video instead of just throwing a track on the piece of content you're making. So overarching just the little tiny details, I would say a lot of people don't consider as much as they should. Best advice someone gave me, actually a piece of advice that I always kind of go back to and I think about is actually one of my high school basketball coaches. I think it was when I was going from like JV to varsity. He always said, act like you've been there before. So that's kind of stuck with me for years now, whether it be you're working with someone famous, maybe it's a celebrity, maybe it's an athlete, maybe it's just a large influencer, maybe it's your first brand trip, maybe it's your dream job. You will find yourself in different scenarios in life or in your career where you're in an environment that you used to dream of being in, or maybe it's meeting a person or whatever, and you never want to act like a fan. That's the first way to kind of turn people off. So act like you've been there before, even if you're anxious, even if you're nervous, whether it be a person, an opportunity, an experience, act like you've been there before, be cool. I think that's a great way to earn other people's respect. This bowl is hitting. So someone asked me a question about mentorship programs. Here's the thing I'll say about that. I'm not totally against it. I obviously would just need to dedicate a lot of time to it. So if that's a big interest from people, let me know. But I would say this is an overarching statement. One of my biggest pet peeves is when other people, or especially creators, start a new series or kind of go on a new endeavor and they just stop after doing it for a short amount of time. So if I ever am going to do something like a mentorship program or one-on-one coaching, or I don't know, something down that road, I want to make sure I can do it correctly, because if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You might hear some of the sirens, the beautiful sounds of downtown Chicago. Top 3 starter sneakers you need in your collection. No Air Force Ones allowed. That's okay, I don't think Air Force One would be in it. I'm gonna go Jordan 1 low, reverse mocha. Jordan 1 high, shattered backboard. And then for the third, let's switch it up. Let's go Jordan 4, the Nike SB Pine Green. That shoe is fire. If you had to start from zero, nobody knows you, how would you start? That's actually exactly how I started. So I'd probably do the same thing. I guess it's a little bit different now because platforms are just slightly different. I love long form content. Obviously I'm filming this. And I would say that's my like number one passion. But right now, currently, whether you like it or not, the easiest way to get eyes on you and your content is with short form content. You know, if I was starting from zero, I would literally be trying to put out as much content as I could, at least one thing a day. And then on TikTok, I'd be posting up to 3 times a day if I could get good quality content out. But you know, everybody does start from zero. So I would just say, you know, start creating stuff that you are passionate about, what interests you, and don't niche yourself down so much so fast that you feel stuck immediately. You gotta try out a bunch of different styles of content, create a lot of different things to find what not only are other people gonna be interested in, but also what are you passionate about making all the time. So yeah, just trust yourself, figure out what makes you, you, and follow that. I'll tell you what, it's hard enough to find a tripod that's tall enough for me. 6'5" problems. Light up here kind of sucks because it's directly ahead of me right now, but it is what it is. Almost forgot, gotta get the wellness shots in. So this is the pure green one. Kale, spinach, apple, cucumber, mint, spirulina. Doesn't sound good at all. Not terrible, could be worse. This one's gonna hurt. Wake me up shot. What's that say? Ginger, lemon, and cayenne. Oh my, I should have done this one first. Whew. Holy. Oh man, yeah. That's a wake me up shot. All right, but back down to the office we go. We got some work to do. So funny, these dogs follow me everywhere. Look at that attitude right now. She likes to lay under my desk. It's like her little den. But like, what is that face right now? What's that face? And then check out Daphne. I got this little dog bed that fits perfectly in that spot under my desk. And I think it's safe to say she enjoys it quite a bit. So these are my dogs right here with me. All right, so went with little Strabango this afternoon. Strabango margarita. This is a seasonal, so you won't be seeing this for way too much longer, so go grab it while you can. Updated Ghost Energy flavors for me. If we're going to count limited edition flavors, I'm going Cherry Limeade 1, Strabango 2, number 3, Phase Up, which is like kind of like a lemon lime Mountain Dew vibe, but this one, so good. So good. So real quick, just actually a couple updates. So obviously, you know, my weekends, I spend a lot of my time creating content. This weekend's a little unique, right? Because I'm kind of filming my entire weekend. So that's kind of allowing me to do more than maybe I typically would, because I'm not sitting here just filming vertical content for like 5 hours straight. But a couple updates for you guys in case you aren't following me over on my other socials, which you should be. But you guys may have seen my chair. I've kind of shown it a little bit in the last couple of videos, but in case you didn't know, I actually did a collaboration with Herman Miller. So this is the Herman Miller Embody chair. It's my dream chair that I've wanted for like years now. It's allegedly the best chair out there for, you know, computer chairs, gaming chairs, whatever. And also looks amazing too. So shout out to Nick and Alex for getting the deal done, but we did a partnership with Herman Miller. This is a $2,000 chair. Knocked out a really cool short form video with it and beyond stoked to have it here in my office. So I said it's allegedly the best chair, but after using it, I can confirm it is the real deal. So love this chair. I spend a lot of time sitting here. I know what you're thinking. A $2,000 chair sounds insane, but you think about how much you sit in your computer chair. I would argue I spend more time in my computer chair than I do even my bed. A lot of people invest in a nice mattress. Investing in a nice computer chair, honestly, is kind of a smart idea too. Also, while we're on the topic of brand deals, because I really try to take you guys kind of behind the scenes with all this stuff with me, right? Because I'm still figuring this out as I go. I haven't been doing brand deals for that long, so kind of entering that new space, getting used to it a little bit more. If you guys watched my last video, the gaming setup video, there was actually a sponsored segment of that video by Anchor, which was a really cool thing. So, you know, I've been making these types of videos for years now. I think it's 4 years or maybe a little bit more. And the YouTube channel is in such a good spot right now. I'm seeing some of the most growth I ever have, which is really exciting. There's just no better feeling than when you put a lot of time and effort into content and it's getting the numbers that you think it deserves. It does not always happen that way. So when it does, I'm just extra grateful for it. So numbers are going up, emails are coming in, cool collaborations are in the works, and some that are coming up that you guys don't even know about yet. So stay tuned. Also random, but I got a question about what this is the other day, and this is essentially like a koozie that's shaped for or sized for a 16-ounce can. So I usually put my energies in this, and you screw on the lid right here, and it's basically just a really nice koozie for your energy drink. I just spilled all over. But I'm telling you, this thing keeps your drink ice cold for hours. And I usually sip on stuff for like 3 hours. So this is perfect. All right, so what I'm about to do right now, I got Premiere Pro open right now. Whenever a weekend comes, right, I kind of sit down, figure out my plan for what I'm executing at that time. This weekend, it's very heavily focused on this vlog that you guys are watching. I want to show you guys kind of this entire weekend. I already imported all the footage that I've filmed so far, and we're looking at raw footage wise. I got an hour and 45 minutes so far. So I know long form content is actually kind of going more and more towards longer videos. So we'll see. I'm gonna sit down for the next couple hours, cut this thing up, see how much of it I can get through. But I think we might try out a really long vlog, see how it does. So I'm gonna lock in for a few hours here and see how much we can knock out. Let's get it. All right, so this is what we're looking at for dinner tonight. I got like a chicken piccata meal and I put it on a real plate so I feel like a human. So a couple chicken breasts, a little bit of low carb pasta. I added in a piece of toast that we had in the freezer, and then a big glass of like a low fat, like skim chocolate milk right there. And that right there is dinner. Daphne, none for you. All right, so I'm gonna give you guys a major tip. Wherever your creative space is, whether you have an office, your bedroom, wherever it is, you see that back in the corner right there? It is like one of those tall oscillating fans. And in a space like this where I have all these different lights going on, as well as my computer, my gaming PC, all these things put off so much heat. Having one of those fans has been an absolute game changer. And that one is quiet enough to even be on while I'm recording. So I'm telling you, go get you one. I think that one's linked on my Amazon storefront down below. So anyways, I knocked out a ton of that editing. At this point, I'm completely caught up with what I've shot. It's edited up until this point. So that is a huge win. And I figured this might be a good time to show you a few things that recently came in this past week. So first up, shout out to the High Ground crew. All the people over there are super nice. They've sent me so much stuff at this point, and you can probably see what this is. New keyboard. They have an actual collab with Naruto. And I'm gonna be 100% honest, I'm not really that much into anime, but I am familiar with this. And check out the keyboard itself. It is fire. They make really good keyboards, and they do a lot of dope collaborations with other companies or brands in general. So new keyboard, and then they definitely always get awesome looking branding and packages. This, which is a really nice case actually. Of course, you gotta have a matching mouse pad, and this one is super sick. So might have to update the PC or the gaming setup. But yeah, shout out to the High Ground fam. So appreciate them for continuously sending stuff out to me. Although I am starting to get a bunch of keyboards, so maybe we'll need to run like a giveaway sometime soon. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. And then the next thing, so I keep talking about this camera, right? But it's the Fuji X100VI. I keep talking about it because it's my latest camera. I recently picked it up. I also love this thing, but everyone on the internet is still going insane for this. But there's one major problem with the X100VI, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, and it's kind of just a preference thing. But you know, what's really unique about this camera is the lens does not come off. So you cannot put on a different lens. You are stuck with the one single lens it comes with, and you gotta just deal with it. Which this is a crop sensor camera, so the lens essentially makes it a 35mm. And so many people say that 35 is their favorite focal length. It's not my personal favorite. And that's actually a reason why I like my Leica Q2. It has a little bit of a wider lens, and that just comes down to preference. I love filming with wide angle lenses. I love taking photos with wide angles. It's just kind of my go-to. So you cannot switch out the lens on the X100VI, but Fuji actually makes this right here, which once you unbox it is this. It is a lens converter. So let me show you. Take my filter off my camera here. And then there you have it. This is a wide lens converter for the X100VI. I think they make it for the V2. It actually might be the same thing. And now I have a 28mm instead of 35. So obviously your camera gets a little bit more bulky here. So would you want this on all the time? I don't know. But this is what I used when I was in London and took a bunch of photos. And it also just fits my creative style perfectly. So even though the camera is a 35mm, I've been rocking this wide converter a ton. So I think this attachment is like a few $100s, but if you use this camera as much as I've been using it, it's money well spent. So real quick, just actually, it's such a good spot right now. I'm seeing some of the what this is the other day. This is essentially like Sunday morning. Now, to be completely real with you guys, the first thing I would love to do this morning is wake up and either hit the gym or maybe even go for a run, but I'm trying to get this video out ASAP, so I'm going to have to put that on the back burner for now. Hopefully I can get this wrapped up in the next few hours and then I can go work out a little bit later on today. And I think that right there is a key thing for creators to keep in mind, or people that want to get more and more into this space. Something I get asked about often is, how do I stay so consistent, or how do I get so much content out? And guess what? I'm not doing anything special. I just truly sacrifice a lot of my personal time to do this type of stuff. That doesn't mean I don't enjoy it. That just means that sometimes you have to turn down going out to dinner with friends, or people are watching the Final Four this weekend and I had to let them know, I'm staying locked in. I'm working on content this weekend. So obviously there's a balance there. You don't want to just completely work and not do anything else. But that's kind of where I've been, especially the last couple of years. I spend a lot of my weekends, a lot of my evenings, a lot of my free time, or what would be free time, filming, creating, editing videos, taking photos, whatever it is. And I think a piece of that, which I'm trying to do more and more of, which you guys are kind of seeing in this video, is creating around my actual life. It allows you to still do things while still kind of telling and documenting that story. So I hope you guys enjoyed this style of a video. It's something that I want to do more of. I think I mentioned it earlier, but you guys are probably seeing this trend right now on YouTube and maybe even across all platforms. But people are kind of wanting that longer style of content again, maybe slower paced, less highly overly produced. And so part of my job as being, a creator in this space is always evolving, always trying new things, seeing what works for me, see what works with the audience. Maybe you find a new audience too. So that's exactly what I wanted to do this weekend. I had a ton of kind of like the business side of things going on with the online store, some brand deal stuff, and I kind of just wanted to document my entire weekend as a whole, showing what a super productive weekend would look like for me. And something I'm really stoked about is just overall how I've been taking care of my health, whether it be working out, not eating like complete. So I'm trying to figure this thing out, just like I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. But I gotta stop talking because I need to put this SD card into my computer so I can get editing this video. But guys, that's gonna be it for me in today's video. Let me know down in the comments below if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys drop this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed as well. We are on the road to hitting 100K and things are moving pretty nicely right now. So make sure you stick around. But guys, that's it for me. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace. Let's get cranking on this edit.